All right, hey everybody. Um, Here we are, another snow day, another day where National History Day meetings have been foiled by the weather. I thought I would go ahead and create just a quick little orientation to give an idea of what our students can expect in National History Day 2026. For those that don't know me, my name is Derek Orm. I teach history over at Holland Middle School. And yeah, I'm the point person for all things National History Day. Welcome. So, I want to just put out there some dates of significance for us. The competition is March 21 of this year. It's at Grand Valley State University. It's a Saturday. It's going to be at the Allendale campus. For those familiar with it, it generally is at the Kirchhoff Center. And things like lunch are provided with the registration fee and all of that. Now, they have a deadline, which is about a month after February 6th, but my goal is to get everybody that wants to participate registered by next Friday, which is going to be February 6th. That ensures that I know who's committed to this project and the competition, so I just want to make sure that we have everybody registered that needs to be registered by February 6th. The fee is paid for by Holland Public Schools, so if you do register on your own, just say school's going to pay for it. There's an option for that, and as things get closer, I'll walk us through all of that. So those are our dates that we want to remember here as we begin to move forward. A lot of people have been asking, well, what exactly goes into this? What I'm going to do is just kind of break down what's needed for the National History Day Region 4 competition. It's a little bit different than the history fair. So there is going to be a little bit more involved. So I'll talk about that here item by item as we go. The first thing is that the revised projects. This is, pretty obvious, but nonetheless, a revised project is a project that has been looked at by judges or myself or any of the other people that we have to help out with this process. That is one of the big things with National History Day is that from competition to competition, you look at the judges' feedback and you make improvements based on that, especially for those that are looking to have a competitive opportunity at the regional and state levels if students make it to that. And those would be the kinds of things that we can take a look at in our after-school meetings that we'll be having here between now and the middle of March. The other piece here is a process paper. A process paper simply outlines certain things like why you chose your projects and things like that. And what I want to do is go to the National History Day rulebook to take a look at some of this. So what we have here is you have a link to this as well. But what we've got are just some of the rules for all of the categories in terms of what's expected. And I'm just going to just push through this until we get to the process paper. But one of the big things is academic honesty, right, through plagiarism, making sure that you are connected to the annual theme, which we did at the history fair. And then, of course, some of these other pieces. But a part you might want to take a look at, especially those that aren't going to be able to make it to the after-school meetings, is what the responsibility is of the student and what reasonable help is, right? And really, it's a lot about what you can do to help structure projects, what you can do in terms of research for your projects and talking about it and analyzing it and giving guidance. And those kinds of things. And then it gives the responsibilities of the students as well. So I would encourage you to take a look at some of those things. As we go down, you look at costumes. That would be for things like performances, equipment, and then prohibited materials. Then I'll talk about interview with judges here in just a moment. But here are our written materials. One of the things being a process paper, right? And what we have is a lot of examples for us that'll make it a little bit easier. So you look at the title and title page. For an academic competition like this, it's highly, highly recommended that in order to be the most competitive is that we look at the formatting for things like the process paper, right? And then there's some guiding questions for that, and they can reflect back on their time of when they chose their particular topic, and how they went about that, what they were thinking about, and those kinds of things. So you look at the questions there. It's how did you choose your topic? How does it relate to the theme? How do you conduct your research? How did you create the project? What's your historical argument, your thesis statement? And in what ways is your topic significant in history? So you're kind of reviewing some of those things, but the process paper is all about kind of how you got to that end product. It tells you how long, 500 words or fewer, so it's definitely a doable piece, and I can print out any of the stuff that you need. Now, the other piece that we would take a look at, right, is the annotated bibliography. That would be the last piece, and I might as well just pull up the judge's interview as well. The annotated bibliography, some students already have that, but this is crucial as well when we talk about academic honesty, right? A list of your sources. So that would be primary and secondary sources, any photos that you may have had. You separate it into sections of primary and secondary sources, and then you talk about within that, right, how you used that particular source in your project. So again, this is something that we would print out, and there are lots and lots of examples of that out there. Now, in terms of how you utilize things like ChatGPT. This ChatGPT can really be useful, especially for middle school students in formatting their bibliography. So that would be something that, again, we could talk about after school. But nonetheless, you see those two written pieces are crucial for the region for competition. Now, like I said before, there is a judge's interview as we move forward. It's not a presentation of their project, but it is an opportunity for the students to interact with the people that are the experts, essentially, that are taking a look at their projects, and it's really a friendly conversation. I've met many judges. I consult with people that are judges, and it's really just an opportunity for the judges to interact with the kids and talk about history and those kinds of things. So I don't want kids to be intimidated by this, but nonetheless, it's really important, and I think it's a really cool opportunity for middle school students to have this opportunity for kind of a formal interview with people that they don't know. So these would be kind of those crucial pieces that would be in addition to the projects. And again, taking a look at that rule book will be essential for that. So what comes next? Okay, so the weather is killing us for our ability to meet. So our next meeting will be this Friday, January 30th, right after school. We'll go to about 3:45. So anything you can do to make sure your kids have a ride after that would be greatly appreciated. And then the following meeting will be on Thursday, February 5, and we'll consider this our registration day, and I'll have an opportunity to go through some of these things with students. So make sure that they, if you have a home email address, that makes it a lot easier to be able to get things registered, because sometimes the domains have certain restraints to them through school. So if they have a home email address that they could use, even a parent's email address would work fine. They can do that. But because of my schedule and what's happened here with our weather, the meetings are going to be a little bit more sporadic, so I'll make sure that those go out well ahead of time. So the next couple of meetings you can count on would be this Friday, January 30th, and then the following Thursday, February 5th, and that'll be the day that we really push for registration. And again, that's something that you can do at home. And all the meetings will take place in Mr. Orm's room in C302. I'll keep emailing everybody, but we really want to make sure that we're cognizant of this registration deadline, because that's going to tell me exactly who I need to be in contact with in terms of parental connections and things like that. Please feel free to email me any questions that you have. I know I've been having some students stop by my room, but really right now, because of the weather, we're just kind of keep on pushing these meetings out. But make sure that this that the project is in the back of the mind of all students, because again, in order to be competitive, we want to make sure that we're thinking about it and we're revising and doing those kinds of things. So I appreciate your time and listening to this. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, and stay warm out there, people. All right, have a good one.